Hey Pisces, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And Tribal Tuesday is back. It goes live in February. If you have that one thing that you want to work on, that you've been wanting to work on or conquer or succeed in with forever, and you've got that one blockage that you just don't seem to be able to shift, Tribal Tuesday is for you. If that's what you are ready for, I'm telling you, you will get so much out of this. It's a 4-week course that is successive FLP sessions that get you to where you need to be. In March, I have a second course coming up, which is Mindset Magic. This is 6 weeks. 6 weeks of consistent building on each week so that in the end you have a complete process for how to manifest anything that you want in your life. Mindset Magic is going to be absolutely awesome. I worked so hard on it to bring you it. If you want to be on one of those courses or both of those courses, as some people have done, please book. You can do so on the links in the 2 links in the description box below. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, excuse me, let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. And your actions and your path ahead are, you have the 4 of Pentacles, right? So this is about you really discovering what your stash pot looks like. This is about you asking yourself, right, how and when do I start saving? What is it that I'm going to need going forward? This for me feels like on one hand, you're pooling your resources, right? You're pulling all your money together. You're thinking about what your next steps look like. And then you're saying to yourself, right, how much am I going to need in order to get on with or move ahead with the next step of my journey? This is all about asking yourself what the resources are that you're going to need in order to make those next steps. And for a lot of you, you might be discovering new ways to earn money. For a lot of you, you might be looking at new ways to earn money. For a lot of you, this looks like a week where you're deciding to get really financially savvy. There's another sign that had that same message this week, and I can't remember which one it is. For you guys, though, this is more on a practical level. I feel like this is about you looking at the savings account, looking at what kind of money you have access to, in the immediate future if you need it. This is going to be a week where this stuff is really, really at the forefront of your mind, which is not a bad thing at all. It means that you're thinking about the future in the best way, right? I love this for you because it suggests that you're actually going to start this week. You will start to realize where you feel like you're actually heading and where things are going for you. And this is a really big week. I've said this for all of the signs. Whatever you kind of set into motion this week, whatever is there, whatever you create, whatever you're thinking, whatever is lingering, this stuff is going to be around for a long time. So really pay attention and steer the thoughts and the energy the way that you would like them to be, especially with the 4 of Pentacles, because it's such a rigid energy. So really lock in what it is that you want to be working on that's actually going to be beneficial for you, and keep on that. Your communications and conversations, you have the 8 of Wands, right? So this is interesting because this is a massive card for communication. Emails, text messages, phone calls, Skype calls, Zoom conversations and connections and communications. This is about you talking about teaching, talking about mentoring, maybe thinking about more skills that you might need, maybe thinking to yourself, what is it? What's going to be the right thing that gets this done? So your money and your actions in your path is very much about pooling your resources and finding what you need. Your communications is very much about reaching out to people, maybe even finding people to mentor you, maybe even finding people that are gonna give you the information that you need. You're on an information hunt this week. It's like you're gonna be like a sponge, like you just want to know everything that you need to know and in as fast a time as possible. Which is a very interesting energy, to be fair, because usually Pisces is a bit more sort of go with the flow. But this week I feel like you're going to be very gung-ho, so go for it. Your money and materials, you have your card, the Oak King or the Hanged Man in the Rider-Waite deck. So, error. Having a bit of a moment there. So your Hanged Man or the Oak King in your money and materials is basically saying, 1, don't freak yourself out. Right? 2, don't convince yourself that you don't have what you need or that you're not going to be able to have access to what you need. It's really important for you to see things as they are, instead of A, how you would like them to be, or B, how you really don't want them to be. This is really, really important. You've got to be very, very in the moment when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your money. For a lot of you, this really, I mean, for me, it feels like there's something going on with your home, with your house, your housing. And I mean, because you've got the 4 of Pentacles there, so that's a double hit of that home energy for me. And then the fact that you've got the 8 of Wands there, you could be talking a lot about this. It may be, for some of you, when it comes to the work, the job, the business, it might be that it's further afield. For some of you, you might have to have the conversation about moving. For others, this might literally just be a case of saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not sure how compatible the living area is with the work situation. So, you know, this is stuff that you're really looking at. And then finally, in your love and relations, so family ties and personal intimate relationships, you've got the Witch or the Magician card. And the fact that you've got this in, excuse me, the love and relationships, when it comes to the family, there's lots of communication. Again, you know, the Magician card is Mercury ruled, right? So this really feels, for me, it's actually about communication and manifestation. Shameless plug, check out my Mindset Magic card. It's you know, trust me, it's going to be awesome. With that said, this really does feel for me like when it comes to the family, there's going to be a lot of communication. It might even be as well that you have to pull rank this week, and that's very unlike Pisces energy, right? Because you guys tend to, you know, you tend to be a lot more warm and feeling, but this week you may have to pull rank with someone or some situation when it comes to the family. For those of you that are single, this is plain and simple. This is about you manifesting the kind of love that you want in your life, right? Because you've got the Hanged Man there as well, which is Neptune ruled. So that sort of higher mystical, you know, and I say this not very lightly, but sort of soulmate-y kind of energy, right? That's the kind of love that you're calling in. And if you look at her, look, she's sort of in the circle mid-spell there. So what is it that you want to manifest in terms of your relationships? For those of you that are partnered, I got to be honest with you, even though these are fairly light cards, there's something here that kind of suggests you and your partner have a lot to communicate about this week. There's going to be a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot of moments. And, you know, this is going to be a big deciding week for a lot of people. You know, and this is what I will say. If you ignore it, this could be the beginning of the end, right? And you'll remember those words. So this is why I say to you, address everything, right? As it comes up, talk about it, clear it. As it comes up, you know, get it out. Don't hold on to it. Don't harbour it in any way, shape or form. Because that's the thing with Pisces, you know, for the most part, I see you guys as quite light. But a Pisces that festers, oh, it can be really, really, you know, it can be really ganky. So don't do that to yourself. Don't, you know, don't poison yourself or your environment, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Your key to the week is the Emperor, right next to the Witch card. Whether this is at work, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's with your family, whether it's with colleagues, friends, somewhere you are having to pull rank. And it looks like for some of you this may very well be with a friend or a boss. It looks like somebody's going to try to call you out on or over something, and I kind of feel like you guys this week are going to say, hang on a sec, usually I would back down, but you're wrong in this situation and I'm going to tell you so. So this is going to be an interesting one for you guys, and especially as the Emperor card talks about commitment, this is about being committed to what you manifest. So I will say this to you, whatever you call for this week is very likely to start showing up over the course of the next 6 to 8 to 12 months. And in line with something that I saw on a TV show once the call has been made, You know, there's no retracting it. This is the thing about manifestation and stuff that people kind of gloss over, right? It's the same with spiritual work, with spells, with magic, with all of that sort of stuff. Once you've called for it, you've already sent it out there. You can't retract it. Do you know what I mean? Like when you hear like, oh, just do a reversal spell. It's not that easy. You know, it's really funny. It's you know, a really jokey example, but if any of you ever seen Bewitched with Nicole Kidman and the aunt that's always messing stuff up, she says, oh, you know, doing it isn't the same, undoing it isn't the same as doing it. And that really is the truth of it. You know, that's quite you know, considering where that piece of information come from, it's quite a big secret. You know, sending it out there is one thing, retracting it, you know, is kind of like once the cat's out the bag, so to speak. Or I think there's an Indian proverb actually that's really beautiful. It says that once you let the cow out of the barn, you can't stop it from trampling the pretty fields. Or pretty flowers, I think it is, or something along those lines. So, you know, it's kind of that energy this week. And so whatever you are manifesting, be committed to it. Right, if you really want this, you've got to put it out there and stick with it. Don't you know, don't play around with it in that respect this week. You know, be really conscious. So it's going to be an interesting week for all of us in some way, shape or form, but for you guys especially. All right. So I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. What do you love? What do you loathe? How does it look? Take care, and I'll see you soon.